So tomorrow we're going on a trip. I have no idea where we're going, but apparently it's like Italy.
Camped out on the porch, trying to work this out. Raining in my head, but my body is a drought. I'm in a hole, just waiting for my momentary stride. Then press the other way on Pharaoh's fury ride.
Why, hello.
It's called Baltlico.
Okay.
It's a small town. It's inspired in Tuscany, Italy.
Oh, wow.
So it's really nice. It's literally just for entertainment. Just to be there for like 4 hours. People stay there over the weekend because they have like concerts, like thingies, you know, like it's.
Okay.
I've never been there myself.
So these are the Mexican city roads, and it is the quietest I've ever seen it on the road. So I came to Mexico City like a year ago because I was working for an American relationship company. I met my girlfriend Carla in the first week, and this is why I'm here today. It's also my birthday, so it's going to be a fun day. So I was working for that company, and at the time I enjoyed it, but I didn't want to. I just stopped enjoying it, and my manager could tell. And in the meanwhile, I was building an idea for my own business, and I think I just completely lost touch with doing the actual job. I was working on the sales team. Synonymous to this, I had this kind of epiphany that I just didn't want to do it, and just decided that I was going to leave. But before I had a chance to leave, within a week, the manager basically fired me. That was when I then had to leave the flat, spent money on a marketing agency that went bankrupt and lost my money, and then ended up back home. And that was when I ended up creating everything that I've built now from scratch, basically. Took out credit cards and just didn't give myself a plan B. At least I didn't want to. Psychologically, you can't give yourself a plan B for these types of things. You can't. People think you need a plan B. People think you need a safe second option or things like that. But if you give that to yourself, that's you don't end up doing the thing, because if you want to do something that's extremely hard to do, you can't give yourself a cop-out, because otherwise you'll end up doing the plan B. And that is what I'd experienced for the past 6 years. I'd make a plan and then end up doing the plan B. So I realized that if this plan was plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and psychologically I knew that I wasn't going to back out into anything else, and this was the direction, you just kind of commit. You just fully commit to it, and that's what helped me commit to actually doing this today, even though at the time, if I told my dad or if I told anyone else really what I was doing, they'd be concerned. They'd be thinking, well, you need this, you need safety here. Honestly, I just don't like that advice. I don't think that advice has ever worked for me. I don't think that advice has ever worked for anyone who's really doing something that they have really devoted to doing, like something that's quite hard to do. It's usually people who don't really do that type of stuff, who've never done it before, who give you that type of advice because they think it makes sense. And it does make sense logically, but it doesn't make sense when you actually have to do the thing. So far there's a fresh load of nothing. I bet some of the buildings look cool on the way in. We're gonna go and explore. So, what time is this meant to be? Sicily, Tuscany. And I think there is some restaurants, so we're going to go eat at a restaurant. Which one we're going to go to? We don't know which one, the French one. It's kind of like a theme park, but it's like a village theme park type of thing.
Far away.
Yeah, it seems pretty cool. Rocking the ISIS. I'm loving it. Hey, buddy. He's doing the downward facing dog. No, that's more like a cat cow. Little yogi dog. Oh, you've clicked play. Okay. See, I like the fact that we've come on like a really quiet day, even if like 90% of it is closed, because it is so scenic and you can get some really good shots here. So I really like that. I asked the community what topics to talk about in this video. So I'm going to get some up here and just see what people have asked about. Okay, maybe I won't be able to just go through them like this in this order. Maybe I should have planned this a little bit better in advance. I could do like a whole video on each comment. Huevos revueltos? Revolutos? Sí, 5 huevos. Y what did you want? You don't know what you want yet.
Ask whatever you want.
Y poisson de déjeuner? Sí, gracias. So Gladius, how are you doing, man? Gladius asked, beyond clearing limiting beliefs, what can you do to live in perpetual happiness? So the thing to see, muchas gracias. The thing to see is like, there's really one belief. There's one core belief that has to be uprooted, which is the belief in separation. And what that will do is like, imagine that you have like, let's just say like a house of cards. Taking the belief in separation is like pulling one of the bottom cards. Instead of taking all the ones off the top, one by one, gradually over time. The final boss of beliefs is the belief in separation, because that is what creates every other limiting belief. So every limiting belief comes from the belief that we are temporary, limited and finite fundamentally as an entity. That is what creates limiting beliefs. You can't have someone with limiting beliefs that has never believed themselves to be temporary and limited and finite. So the source belief is always the same, the belief in being temporary, limited and finite. Let's say after 20 years, we uprooted the belief in separation. For the past few decades, the habits of those beliefs continue to run. So those habits, you still have to go through a process of like recognizing those beliefs. Gracias. You still have to go through the process of recognizing those beliefs in order to prevent yourself from going from the habits. In my experience, things like money and things tied to abundance, even though I knew I was unlimited, my habits continued to convey limitation because I hadn't actually addressed things like financial situations. But I've never thought you had to do that. Had I not uprooted the belief in separation first, I don't see, you recreate the beliefs. Like you don't fully uproot them. You can have like millionaires still living in lack, you see? I've heard plenty of stories. I used to work for Marissa Peer, and she used to tell me stories about how rich people, well, not tell me personally, but she used to talk about how rich people that she knew, millionaires, still still acted poor. So it's like abundance doesn't mean finances, it doesn't mean money. It can be an abundance of patience, which is the most valuable form of abundance of all. It can be an abundance of opportunities, it can be an abundance of knowledge or understanding. It just comes in different forms. To live in a perpetual state of happiness, you have to remove the beliefs in the conditions that we have on happiness. So the belief that happiness is a feeling, the belief that happiness is a state of mind, the belief that happiness is some sort of objective experience that you can feel or experience. It's not any of those things. The objective feeling experience of happiness is the symptom of what our happiness actually is. So to live in that place, the protocol is pretty simple. First, recognize what you essentially are. Then you will see that you no longer believe that you're limited, but you will still experience limitation in experience. Like you'll still believe that maybe you're inside the head, that you experience separate objects. And what happens is we have thought, feeling, and perception. So the thought layer is basically what we think about, what we just kind of discussed, what we think about ourselves and the thoughts that trigger that. Then we have a feeling layer, feeling limited, feeling temporary, feeling finite, feeling like when I have the experience of frustration or sadness that my happiness is sacrificed. That's also another feeling and a belief that is completely not true. And then we have perceptual layers, which is like perceiving distances between the body and an object and believing we're in the body, which triggers again another layer of separation. And it's separation that triggers unhappiness. Anytime that we're happy, we're just not in the belief in separation. This is why people who don't follow this approach still have experiences of happiness, because the belief in separation is not always inherent in our experience. It's triggered by certain things. So we have to essentially uproot those triggers.
Muchas gracias.
Happy birthday, mi amor.
Happy birthday to you. Okay, now
Wish something.
Thank you very much. Don't. This is my candle. Okay.
Something to let go of.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Oh!
What's the macaron?
Yes. Try it. Is it good? Can I try it?
That's very good. I want chocolate. Okay.
Yes. That's it.
Hola. This place is interesting. Look. Crystals. Who wants to heal their chakras? It's very rare that you come across like a really nice crystal store. Like it's very well done, you know? These are all, I can't remember what they're called. What are they called again? I want to buy a bracelet, I think. I kind of like these ones.
It's nice.
This is kind of nice. I'm a sucker to being sold to. I had to buy this. And yeah, you've got to like program it and shit. Like I want to program a bracelet. That sounds pretty cool. I like well-intentioned stuff. I like handmade, well-intentioned things because it's kind of rare that you come across like little objects that are actually made with care. And even the shop layout was all laid with care and you could tell it was cleaned every day. I think that might be the first shop in Mexico I've come across that is like that. So it is just really nice to see. Oh my God, there's a freaking cat. Oh my golly gumdrops. Oh my gosh. Hello. Hello. Oh, she ran away from me. She hates me. Another rare episode. I've probably seen about 5 cats the whole time I've been in Mexico. It's a rare occasion. I had a cat actually. Oh my gosh, let me tell you about Gojo. I bought a cat from, oh, whoa, easy tiger, easy. There we go. So I bought a cat from the cat shelter called Gojo, and he was absolutely stunning, and he sat with me every single day. Like, I worked from home at the time, and is this recording? I worked from home at the time, and what was happening was he would just sit on my lap every day and just chill. I'm going to see if I can post some photos on this video. And I had the cat for about a week, and then the cat basically died one night on the sofa. It had worms. Overnight it just died after just over a week, and that was actually really sad. It was like my little friend. So yeah, that was the story of Gojo. Not much else happened after that, apart from the fact that I'm never buying a cat again from a shelter unless I know this cat is not going to die. Yeah, sorry to drop the mood. Anyway, let's come back. Let's come back to non-dead cats. So this guy who was just standing there just said that there's a gun range in this like, by the way, we're in this like God knows where Italian type of village, and it's just this gun cabinet. What? Gang, gang, gang. So I just paid for the VIP shooting, and you get to shoot a freaking Colt, and it looks like an M4 gun. Okay. This is me signing my death warrant. Did it go left or right? Could you ask? Down. How? Oh my god. I'm actually scared it's going to bounce and hit the camera. Almost. Almost. You always miss when I film. This ball keeps on hitting the target. And I keep missing. Right. Which one am I going for? Anything. Is it going to left? Well, that was shitter than I thought it was going to be. I got to fire, I counted 22 shots of the machine gun, and I thought they were going to be real guns, but they were just BB bullets. You win some, you lose some. At least it was an interesting, unexpected experience. I love it when they feed the cats. Cats never get fed shit. I think that there's nothing like Coke on a sunny day. 10 years ago that would have meant a very different thing. Let's go through another request on the community. So Michelle asked, hi Michelle, I would love to know why I'm not my thoughts and feelings. So, well, the question is, whatever you are, you don't disappear, because you've never experienced disappearing in your life. You've never disappeared. You've never started and stopped, come and gone. You've never experienced a cessation of yourself. Now, the thing is some people say, well, yeah, but I was born and then I can die. But the thing is like, you can't relate to these types of theories because you've never been born. And yes, technically there's proof people have died, but you've got to base this on your own experience. Because the question is, just because the body can die doesn't mean that the human doesn't mean that you can actually die, whatever you are, right? If we turn off a computer, the electricity doesn't turn off. You see, we just turn off the connection between the computer, the hardware, and the electricity. So the question is like, in your experience, if you've never experienced a cessation to yourself, why assume there could ever be one? You see, like the space of the space of your room that you're in right now is infinite. Like the same space here with me in Mexico is the same space that's in your room right now. It's just infinite space, and that means it's infinite now. So the fact that it's infinite now, why would we ever assume that the space can later be uninfinite? Do you see? Why would we assume that, yes, it's infinite now, but later on it could be not infinite? You see, it's a redundant argument. If it's infinite now, it's always infinite. You can't take it away. So when you're asking about thoughts and feelings, well, you're not thoughts and feelings, because thoughts and feelings perpetually come and go. If you were a thought, I mean, you would be disappearing every second. Like, your thoughts come and then they go, and then there's no thought. The same with feelings. So you're obviously not anything to do with something that can appear and disappear, because you experience appearances and disappearances. So you've got to think, what is it that is essential to me? Whatever it is that is essential to you is what you are. So a thought and a feeling, you can rule them out because they're not essential to you. Facet 44, what a crazy name. I love that. That's like the coolest name I've ever seen in my life. How about not finding life to be relatable anymore? Without desire, there's nothing to be done here. What is worth doing when the heart says no to everything? When there is no path, no completion? Why is the heart saying no to everything? You have to really move on past that. This is a very Buddhist sentence. It's a very Buddhist paragraph. Desire is the nature of life. Everything you're experiencing is a desire. Desires aren't bad. There's nothing wrong with desires. The only issue with desires are desires that take you towards happiness, desires that make you think you can find happiness in the world. Therefore, desires that are essentially based on lack, and they take you to try and fulfill the lack. They're the only desires to worry about. Other than that, you should be desiring everything you want in life, not trying to inhibit that. So the reason that you're feeling this way is because you've misunderstood the teaching. And if you misunderstand a spiritual teaching, Gabriella made an amazing sentence the other day, which is something that I've said for a very long time. If the realization, this isn't what Gabriella said, but it's the essence of it. If the realization isn't accompanied with love and joy, it's not true. So it should always be accompanied with love and joy. It should never be accompanied with this dull boringness. I have no desires, can't relate to a world. If we're not relating to a world, we need to really realign what it is that what approach it is that we're trying to understand. Every dog is like going crazy right now. Oh my gosh! The Jack Russell just fell off the bike.
No, we didn't.
So there's nothing to be done here. There's so much to be done. Everything is being done. The dogs are dogging, the dog is dogging, the cup is cupping, the waterfall is waterfalling, or the fountain is fountaining. Everything is being done. So instead of thinking there's no desires, I can't find happiness, this is not the place to be. The place to be is to realize what you essentially are is doing everything. Your job is to be the doing of all that's done without being the doing of it. So yes, the teachings say, yes, there's no doer, there's nothing to do. It's a very inefficient, ineffective teaching, because there is something to be done. So it's better to realize there's no individual doer and actualize the universal doer, which is the thing that does everything. So instead of identifying with the individual doing things, you are the universal acting on behalf of the universal, making individual things, doing individual things as the individual. So the path actually progresses towards individuality, contrary to what people may think. The path of non-duality enhances individuality, and it's through that individuality that we actually find great relationships, love, fun, joy, games, just genuinely enjoying life. So I would reconsider why it is that you think that without desire, Buddha didn't have no desires. Nobody has no desires. There's not one being on this earth that has ever lived that has no desires. They're a completely natural phenomenon. So natural that they're like the most natural thing. The universe is a desire. It's it's an energy that wants to be lived. You see, it's a complete and utter desire. Desire really is just a universal energy. Like it's just creative energy, creative impulse. We should follow our desires wherever they take us, so long as they're not coming on behalf of trying to find fulfillment in the world. They're the desires that seem to take us off track. So I hope that was helpful, Facet. Thank you for asking the question, man. So if you're interested in this type of content, I have a free community. I share exclusive content every single week, and I host free meditations based on the topics that we've spoken about today. If this is something you enjoy, feel free to click the link in the description, and I'll see you guys very soon. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.